Ugh. Natural light. Yes, welcome to a long play, and I'm not calling it a Let's Play because this is gonna be long, of Fallout New Vegas. I'm gonna be hitting this whole game and the DLC, so you might want to strap yourselves in for this one. Now, one thing I would like to point out, this is going to be kind of like an OC thing. For those of you who are uncultured, original character. So, you might notice that for having just left Doc Mitchell's and wearing... I'm not dressed as I should be. I've got Van Graff-style black combat armor, and a few other nifty bits, like a, where is it? Perks. Like an intelligence implant that brings my intelligence up to 10. We're going to contextualize that in the notion that this particular courier is actually a mercenary, hired by House particularly to deliver, you know, the package, the platinum chip. However, I know that goes against the notion that House was trying to do this covertly, but this is probably my most optimized build, and it's probably the first time I've done a build with a character design in mind. So yeah, no, I was a courier in combat armor, and the lore explanation for my surviving a bullet in the head was the chip. I cyberpunked this SOB. I'm alive because there was a chip in my head. Now, there should be a preamble to all of this, so... so I should have explained all that already, but yeah, no. This ain't an ordinary courier.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
Oh, don't worry, it's a dog. Doc Mitchell said you could teach me to survive in the desert.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
Are you referred to being buried alive or shot in the head? Because both could technically qualify there, Sonny. And we get a varmint rifle out of this. I despise that weapon. It's useless. Like, why would you even use it? Get a service rifle. Uses the same ammunition. It isn't crap. It doesn't suck. Yes, canonically, this is not Van Graff armor. I just painted my combat armor black, because of course I did. I could also be wearing a helmet, too. I think I found one of those, but that would be green. Yeah.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them.
I mean, this thing is at less than half condition to boot.
That's the right idea. Look down the sight.
First try.
Try crouching down and staying still. It'll help your aim. Nice shot. Well, that's a start.
Ain't my first rodeo, Sonny.
Me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
Okay, I'm in.
Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
It's not even just the fact that it is a varmint rifle, it's the fact that it's an absolute shit varmint rifle. Like, seriously, Sonny, was this the best you could come up with? Yeah, come on, Sonny. Why do you just gut your rifle out? We're still in the middle of Good Springs. What, you expecting to run into geckos in town? You know, I say that, but there was one time Rad Scorpion, one of the bigger ones, just happened to stroll into Good Springs. I was like, oh, shit! That can't be good. In fact, that's probably a disaster. Well, look at it this way, Cheyenne. At least you don't have that weird bug right now where your eyes are not in your head. Yeah, we're gonna have to outrun Sunny Smiles if we want to save the settler that's just sort of getting water out here without an escort. Because this is a quiet place, but it still has geckos. For the most part, like, every household in Good Spring seems to have a gun, so I don't know why that settler was just out there completely unarmed. Well, it's a good thing we're near a water supply.
Hear that up on the ridge behind me there? We got some geckos to clear out. Bunch of little monsters is what they are. Seems like Doc Mitchell treats more gecko bites than anything else. Let's see if we can get a little closer. If we move quietly, we can get the jump on them. More likely to hit something vital that way.
Yeah. Small way of telling us that we have sneak attack criticals. Not like I don't already know, but this movement speed. Holy.
Okay, you're on. Go give him hell.
Can I hit that? I can! I don't know why I'm surprised my shooting skill is actually pretty high for this run. Right out the gate. Even though I intend to use energy weapons more so than these shell guns.
Come on!
Tell all this over off to Chet. Where was that? Okay, first of all, first things first. There. Hydration. Resolved. Okay, maybe the shovel isn't here, per se. What the hell's Sunny? What do I have pinged?
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few caps to me.
Sure, I'll come with you.
Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with 2 of us. Come with me.
Okay. Yeah, the varmint is so bad I'm whipping out the weathered 10 mil. So yes, I should have gone over it in the preamble, but I imagine that given that it's literally just me explaining what I'm going to do, some viewers, anybody who even bothers to watch this might have just skipped it. This is hardcore mode.
Come on!
There we go. Yep, and for this one we're going to need something special. Because they're going to start swarming that settler. And I do believe that settler actually pays us some caps for that. Handy to have this plasma rifle early, don't you think? Okay. So I have a list of... I don't think it matters right now, but hang on. So I decided which perks I wanted at the outset of this. I have a thing... So I should be able... Oh, for God's sakes, yes. Open the thing. There we go. So at level 6, I need to be at Science level 70. Oh boy. Okay. I already have 15 skill points. What, we just dump it all into Science? Could do. Yeah, just dump it all in there, you know? Intense training. So... Now which... Okay, I think we wanted more agility. Because perception, we're going to cap off at 6, and that will be with an implant. But we don't need to touch perception. Strength will end up at 8 with the stuff that's going to be done to that. So it's basically endurance and agility, mostly. Charisma is just not all that useful in this game. Especially if you're running the DLC, you don't always have companions, or at least not good ones. So actually, right now, endurance would probably be a good thing to boost. So let's get a little more endurance there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I need to reach 8 without the implant. So yeah, endurance. Let's be sure to talk to the settler.
Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, you should have what I got. You look thirsty.
Hey, it's bottled. I can carry that with me, and I'm gonna need it. Hey, Sonny!
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about living off the land and making useful things for yourself. Interested?
Couldn't hurt.
Alright then. We'll need a couple ingredients to get started. Gonna want some xander root and a brock flower. Let me think now. I know I've seen brock flowers growing up at the graveyard, and I seem to remember there being xander root over by the schoolhouse. Bring those on back to me, and we'll get cooking.
Fantastic. I'm going to loot Sonny for a moment. They're all dead. The shovel is not at this particular well. So yes, we saved the lady settler, whose legs are clipping through her dress. So yes, no mods on this. Not even New Vegas anti-crash. For the record, it hasn't crashed on me enough that I would have considered... Oh, now her eyes are bugged. It hasn't crashed on me enough that I would have considered it a huge problem. There have been some moments of it occurring at particularly inconvenient times, but I can go through hours of New Vegas without a crash, so I don't... Maybe it's just my machine. Sometimes less advanced means more stable. Where... Like, you can't grave rob, which I will be doing, without a shovel. And there's a shovel that you can get for free at one of these water wells. It's just that I've been over this like a dozen times. I can never find exactly where it is. I always have trouble. Like, which well is it? I think this is the first well, so I need to head further down, because I think yeah, that's the second one. I think I see it, actually. Sell all this garbage off to Chet. Shovel. Anything good here? Nope, that's a busted down well. So yes, in hardcore mode, ammunition has weight. Companions can die, so gotta be careful with that. Kind of all the more reason not to travel with them if you're going into anywhere particularly dangerous, because you don't have a great deal of control over your companions in New Vegas. They'll just sort of do what they want to do. And you also have sleep, food, and water that you have to contend with. Honestly, this makes Honest Hearts way harder than it normally is, because the big thing with Honest Hearts is that weight limit going in. The problem that you encounter in hardcore mode is that your ammunition contributes to that weight. And those White Lakes tribals have some high, like, damage threshold. It's a little stupid how high their damage threshold is. I don't care for it. Now, my functioning base here in Good Springs is Victor's shack, because he does not need a bed, he's a Securitron. Animals in this game can be a little bit jank. Why use VATS? It's just more reliable. Oh yeah, there's the bugginess. The weapon is in poor condition. Yeah, I'll deal with that when I can deal with that. I can't right now, because I can neither make, nor do I think I have, a weapons repair kit. Jalapeno! I mean, one thing I'm gonna have to do this time around, because it's, weight increasing or weight saving perks are not in my character build for this run. At least not as planned. So... So I'm not going to be able to pack rat like I normally... Because I like pack rat like crazy. I don't throw anything away in this game. Really useful in Fallout 4. Not so much here in New Vegas. Here in New Vegas, carrying a bunch of excess stuff is a liability. Besides, there's just so much stuff lying around. Why would you even bother crafting most things? Like, weapon repair kits are useful if you're going to be an energy weapon fiend like I am, because those things wear down very quickly. But that one's actually running away. There is no escape. Come back here. Pip-Boy light on. Funny that they don't tutorialize. It's a little embarrassing how long it took for me to find out that you could turn your Pip-Boy light on. This is basically your torch in this game. Wonder glue. I mean, since I'm near one of my base locations, I can just dump... I have plans to actually collect stuff off of enemies, because bodies can sometimes disappear, and just sequester them in the buildings where I fought them. That way I can potentially go back there later and loot that stuff without it weighing me down. And it cuts down on the back and forth. Okay, I know there are more, like, skill books and stuff lying around here. The environmental clutter, though, makes them difficult to isolate. A lot of chaff here. Bobby pins, always useful. Fallout 4, I'd be grabbing that Nuka-Cola truck. That's screws, and screws let me customize my weapons, which is what I prioritized in that game, because relying on loot drops for weapon customization, you can have a bad time. Besides, I like having the cool stuff. Why would I want the crap stuff? Hack time. I should really quick save before I do this in case I screw it up. Gunfire! 2 out of 7 correct. Not enough points for commonality. Actually, let's be systematic. Not enough points of commonality. That has enough points of commonality. Oh, getting warmer. Huh. There we go. Yeah, there we go. It's basically just Scrabble. I mean, come on, guys. It's Scrabble. I know people think it's annoying. Disengage the lock. Open this sucker up for me. I'm not big on blunt objects. Why would you go blunt when you can have a blade? Stealth boy. Impact. I'm just standing here with my my frickin' machete out. Machete. Okay, so it's gonna shoot this whatever in the hell it's called. They're gonna burst out, and I'm gonna hit it with dynamite. Open the Pip-Boy. Toss the dynamite. Yeet! Hey, we got a survivor. I know you can get grilled mantis, but I mean, I don't even know how the recipe for that would work, because I get mantis forelegs, and they're not even listed in the, like, the aid section. They're listed in miscellaneous. But then again, you get the same thing with some of the Night Stalker drops, so who knows? This game has sufficient complexity that you really have to obsess over it to know all of the little secrets and tricks. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody who'd say that my build is probably short-sighted and crazy, even though I consider this to be like a you know, an nth draft in terms of how to set up my character with all the foreknowledge that I possess. You'd probably say that going for intensive training is a huge waste because who cares about special stats? It's like, yeah, but getting more special stats boosts my skill points. And one of the things I'm going for here is to get as close to maxing out skill points as possible without relying on skill magazines, because I don't know where they all are, and I don't feel like going on a scavenger hunt to find them. Besides, better special is just better special. You know, harder, stronger, faster. Insert licensed Daft Punk song here. Barrel cactus. Yeah, I'm looting the mailboxes. That's not useful. Some of these houses have loot you can pick up without it being considered thieving. Ah, yes, this is not one of them. But there is a safe in here. I'll leave it alone for now. Don't let that fool you into believing that I'm not going to be robbing some of these towns blind. I will. Weirdly, the stuff in Doc Mitchell's house is not tagged as own, so you can kind of you can kind of raid Doc Mitchell's house for a lot of stuff. Not exactly gracious, considering he saved your life, but I mean, like right here, caps. Ammo. More caps. Buffalo gourds. I don't understand the appeal of those. I don't know what they do. Stim packs. Stim packs. Very important, because unless I sleep in an owned bed, I'm not going to have one of those until Novak, by the way. Unless I sleep in an owned bed, that's good for money. I don't get all my health and stuff back, because it's hardcore mode. I'm going to take those, because I can use those to fix up some things later that will probably be pretty useful to me. Okay, those sometimes have bottle caps as the pieces. Just checking. Good in the kitchen? Ooh, ramen steak, strength boost. Whirl bits, dirty water, can't be picky about that. Because you need to hydrate in this game, and dirty water in a container is usually better than slurping it out of some radioactive pit. Now, there's a broken, like, submachine gun in here. I'm just trying to remember where it was. Probably in that room, because I haven't been in there yet. I could have a greater conversation with Doc Mitchell at length, but I have to talk with him later, just to get the supplies for the attack. Ah, there it is. Do I have that? I mean, it might not give me the offer if I didn't. Oh, yeah, I have that. And I now have a 9mm. I now have a 9mm submachine gun. Cool. Not that I can afford to use that because I don't have the doctor back, because I don't have the ammo to support that kind of expenditure. More stim packs. Yeah, always. Again, from an RP standpoint, it's not exactly gracious to basically take the man for everything he's got, but we are going to save the town. So, consider this an extension to the payment that we get from Ringo. Probably better that I go to the graveyard during the day, or cemetery. There is a difference between a graveyard and a cemetery, I know. Like, a graveyard is like literally just a place for the dead, whereas cemeteries are usually more ornate. That's a pretty thin line to differentiate, but sure, why not? Oh yeah, and all this stuff is, once again, owned. Anything good in here? Duct tape. I will steal that. Not the meat. I'll take the vodka, because I can sell it. That's enough robbing this place. Unless... Ooh, grilled mantis. That I will take. Ooh. Yeah, that's enough robbing this place. Again, this is the mercenary run. My character is next Blackheart, so you know what the score is. One day this will be my town, man. Something interesting in this trailer, which is parked a little too close to this house. Empty whiskey. A bobby pin. Sure. Alright, I think cemetery. We're just gonna hit the cemetery. I'm still not sure how I'm gonna deal with the whole powder ganger situation, because I like doing that extra mission, where I can just route them. Because I try to preserve as many groups in the Mojave as possible, but the Fiends and the powder gangers are not groups I try to preserve, because they're assholes. Like, that's literally all there is to it. They are dicks. I hate the sights on the 10mm. Why is the front blade so high? It should fit between the rear thing. It should not... What I usually end up having to do is go third person so that I get that. And then, yeah, the point of aim should be, like, underneath the top of the reticle. It's not great iron sights on a weapon. And why does this thing look like the Deagle? I mean, 10mm is technically less than 45 ACP, because 45 ACP is like 11.43mm in diameter. Although it's not usually measured in that, because 45 ACP is like rarely used outside the US. It's usually just 9mm Luger, or one of the many, many, many other 9mm. Okay, no escape for you. You explode into maggots, and then you can just immediately die. I hit one of them. Come back. Get... Ow! Wait, I would have sworn that would have missed. You're not really adept with anything in this game until you put levels into it. Like, the hand sway is so much less pronounced once you've got at least 70 points into guns or something. But right now, you're just sort of, like, aiming all over the place. It's not ideal. Besides, I'm not going to be focusing guns, because I'm going to be using energy weapons. And the trade-off that is typically argued with the energy weapons compared to the guns is the fact... Okay, there's supposed to be a globe here, but I might have gotten that already. The trade-off with energy weapons as opposed to guns is the fact that energy weapon ammo is harder to find, but much easier to craft. Fearless Dave! Yeah, some of these do have names on them. I can't even make that out. So, if there's a mound, we can dig it. Can you dig it? I did this in Fable as well, by the way. I don't play that many RPGs, but when I do, well, that's just a waste. Like a corpse needs food. There we go. That's one of my problems with Day of the Dead, is that they put a bunch of, like, food up for the passing of the spirits, and it's like... That seems profoundly wasteful. I understand the ceremonial value of it, but it's food. It's edible food. Don't waste that shit. I know it's an overdone line now, but children's starving on the other side of the world, and there you are putting food up on fence posts and so forth for the dead. Sweet candies in a parade are fine, though. Just don't waste food. I'm not sure about this helmet. I kind of want to let my hair blow around in the Mojave wind. I mean, I'm getting better protection with this, which I'm gonna need, because my endurance is, not great. What can I eat? My food is bad. That means I have 200 hunger. Nothing I have really covers that much. Not even the Brahmin steak, surprisingly enough. Bloat fly meat, I need other stuff to make that into a slider, and more survival skill, probably. Yeah, can I just make gecko meat? I don't know, I gotta meet up with Sunny, and she's gonna be near a campfire, so that'll sort that out for me. Probably. Actually, before that, we'll know, because I'm probably gonna want to dump anything I don't have an immediate use for, so I'll hit Victor's shack and sequester away the stuff that I don't intend to drag around in a moment. Besides which, I'm probably going to hit Chet first and sell off the gecko hides, because I know I can tan them with some turpentine, and they're worth more if I make them into a belt or something, but... do I really want to be bothered with that? Is that a thing I want to worry about at this point? Or do I just want to get on with it? I could use the caps. Besides, it's not like I'm not going to run into more geckos and get more hide. And before I know it, be inundated in the stuff and have to drop a bunch of it because my inventory's maxed out. Which is why I normally upgrade the inventory over and over and over again. But I'm not putting any points into strength with intensive training, so... huh. Ah, there she is. Hello. Diane, are your eyes still bugged? Oh no, you're normal again.
Let me see what you got. Yeah, these'll do just fine. Just fine. Alright now. We're gonna be making something folks on the trail call healing powder. Go on over to that campfire now. Give it a try.
Oh, I can make a bloatfly slider. Cool.
Hey, that's not bad, see? All it takes to make a recipe is the right ingredients and the right know-how. Sometimes it won't be a campfire you need. Might need to do some work on your guns and ammo, maybe.
Workbench tutorial!
Important thing to get is it's all the same idea. You just need to find the right place to set up shop. Workbench or reloading bench, whatever. Well, I hope that's enough to get you started. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never forgive me. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
You know, I had to fight the urge there to make a lewd joke. Oh, is that Barton Thorne? Is he going to talk to me about his girlfriend or whatever that's in danger? That's a load of it's a load of crap. Feels wasteful to eat like a bloatfly slider. Well, no, because I need the hunger level down.